Welcome, friends, to this week's live stream. Greetings, fellow citizens of Brickeyland. I'm off to a great start. Greeting, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Brickey here. Today's adventure on our live stream, we're going to be looking at all of the new openings happening this week at the Disneyland Resort, as well as things that will be coming up. We'll be looking at single rider lines that have reopened, as well as things that just we don't know the future of, but we'll start with the positive first. If you're watching this on the replay, you can go up to the 5-minute mark when today's news begins, but I always like to start each and every live stream saying hello to all the folks making me a part of their Monday. Right out of the gate. So pro. Want to say hello to my friend Emily, who was hanging out with me in the green room before things got started. Oh, do we have a birthday? Richard Villain fan. Are you at Disneyland right now? Or are you going to Disneyland on your birthday? I'm having a hard time reading that sentence. What's up, Disney Goth? How you doing? Artie, what's up, bud? Yes. My friend Anna is now a moderator on the channel. She's not the sheriff. There's only one sheriff, but she's deputy. And as I said in the chat before we got started, she's like when they give, a kid that really likes police, we'll say maybe this kid's bus isn't as long as the other ones. That kid gets to ride around in the back of a cop car and they give him a plastic badge and they turn the siren on. That's Anna. Way to be so nice to somebody who's been an amazing friend to me. What's up, Total Tiki? West Coast Avenger, what's up, man? Nice to see you and your family out at the park. West Coast Avenger says, Brickey, my man, very exciting week. Hoping new AP replacement is coming as wait times are low and midday late. I'm telling you guys, this isn't in the topic of discussion today, but with that AP announcement, please keep your expectations super, super low. So whatever happens, you won't be devastated because what I've seen JD and Bobby Chapstick say, they're really, really emphasizing membership program or rewards program, I should say. They're not even using the word membership. They're saying rewards program. And we want to reward the people that are our extreme fans, which means showing up and spending a lot. So please keep those expectations super, super low so you're not just destroyed when they go, here it is, buy 200 churros, get one free. That's my advice anyways. You can do what you want. My advice to you though, as a bud, keep those expectations like so low you can't even see my hand. That's how low they are. Alexander says, hey Brickey, was at the parks last week. Caught a glimpse of you during the Galaxy's Edge to Adventures Campus stream. Alexander, you didn't say hello. You're suspended. You're suspended. When we wake. No vocals. Get out of here. Katie Baker, what's up? Oh, you love my new Brickey blouse? Little surfing Mickey there on a crew neck hoodie or crew neck sweatshirt. Can't be a hoodie. Oh, and a compliment on my Coffee Forever hat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Just all new wardrobe today. Getting ready for that 10,000 subscriber mark. Got to start 10,000. You got to start dressing appropriately. Like you got to act like you belong here. Been a scrub for the first 9,999. Darlene says, I only paid $2,000 for my premiere pass. I guess I should have paid more. You got to be kidding me up front. No payments. Give me a break. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to get into the annual pass thing because there's really nobody has any information. The last thing that was said was, I believe, like now 10 days ago, JD was doing an article or an interview with the Los Angeles Times, and what he said made it seem even more depressing than what Bobby Chapstick said. So get your expectations prepared to not have what you once did. I think you'll be in a good spot. But I might argue that the park is moving incredibly efficient right now, and you can't go as much as you wanted to, but man, oh man, the park is buzzing in a way I've never seen it before. So take the good with the bad. All right, let's get started with today's topics at hand. Thank you so much for showing up and making me a part of your Monday. I do go live most Mondays when there's not a holiday. So next Monday I will be observing 4th of July. I don't know if I'll be live or not on the 5th. I don't know yet. If there's a demand, I'll be here. But I'd also like to maybe make it feel like I had a 3-day weekend, but maybe I'll blow off Friday. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? But the 13th hour on Monday, which is 1 o'clock, I like to show up and do a live stream. So thank you so much for showing up with me. Let's get started with today's show. Today's show is brought to you by our new sponsor, Jack Jack Num Num. No. The Jack Jack Dum Dum. Who was stupid enough to take 2 Jack Jack Num Nums, collapse them over a Ghirardelli? Got corrected on saying Ghirardelli wrong. Put a big old scoop of vanilla or your own favorite scoop of Ghirardelli ice cream between the 2 big Num Nums, and then you successfully have created the Jack Jack Dum Dum. Make sure to tag me if you make one. I want to see if anybody else takes the Dum Dum challenge. And I am not responsible for your diabetes. West Coast Avenger says, I stole your look. I didn't even realize it. I ordered the Mickey Ray-Bans. Nice. With the outline Mickeys on the side. Nice. My wife said, what are you trying to be, Brickey? Influencer. All right, let's get started. July 1st is going to be just awesome at the park, because we have slowly been working our way back to normalcy. And, as I said in one of my vlogs, like the cast member preview was beta. Friday, April 30th, the reopening was like Disneyland 1.0. And then on the 15th, when the mask came off and the out-of-state people came back, it just was an energy in the park. And many people thought that that would be the day that the park would collapse. It would just be, the Disneyland apocalypse. There'd just be people standing in lines everywhere. Hey man, how long you been waiting in line for Pirates? 3 days. I've spent a 3-day ticket waiting to ride Pirates of the Caribbean. And that simply wasn't the case. What we learned is that when the park got back to its natural flow, all these beautifully designed buildings that are people eaters were able to get the people inside of the attractions. The restaurants now had people sitting inside. The stores had people shopping inside. And what we saw was Disneyland return to like a pretty nice level of normalcy. But what was different about it is the people were all where the people belong. They were inside the attractions. They were in the buildings, and the pathways had reopened. Now, my prediction was when we saw Disneyland open up back on April 30th, it was like, look at all this fancy elbow room. But week after week, more and more people showed up, but they didn't have a place to put all the people. So it got crowded and crowded. And then on June 15th, Disneyland Apocalypse Day, no apocalypse. What is this music? There was no apocalypse. And what we saw was the park buzzing. So now we're getting more and more things opening up. July 1st is another wave of big things coming to both parks, and soon downtown Disney as well. So let's get started with these. What's the earliest time you can be there at the parks? Well, Maria, you can get into the Disneyland parking garage system around 7:30, 7:45, but they don't actually open up the little things until I think 7:30 or 8 o'clock on the dot. What they were doing during social distancing, or physical distancing as Disneyland like to say it, is they were gathering as many people as possible, right? And then when one area would get overcrowded, they would just, okay, we're going to let people in the gates because there's too many people on the sidewalks. And then they would let people in the Esplanade. Now there's too many people in the Esplanade. We're just going to open up the parks. So they were just like, as people gathered, just slowly opening things up. Like, for example, Friday, April 30th, when the park reopened, it opened up early. And many days it was opening up early. Now that we're back to regular, non-physical distancing, I have a feeling they'll be a little bit more strict on what times they actually open up. So currently, the park opens at 9. I would expect they probably will let people in the Esplanade somewhere in the 8 o'clock hour. and then we'll see where it goes from there. Every day's a little bit different, though. Every day's a little bit different on how they run the operations, and I think it has a lot to do with their staffing and how many of us show up. All right, so let's get into our July 1st openings. And let's get into our July 1st. Oh, there we go. All right, we're seeing a lot of different key restaurants come back. Now, the Harbor Galley isn't the biggest restaurant, but it has a very specialty menu. It has, about the most authentic type of seafood snacks that you can get off the banks of the rivers of America. But why this is an important one that's coming back is this shows that now the flow of the Haunted Mansion, the flow of Critter Country and Splash Mountain, and the flow of that main thoroughfare, right? That's going to take you to Critter Country. It's going to take you into my favorite entryway into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And also that little patio area there, like that was just being used to hold down people from other locations. So this area that's kind of in a busy like fork in the road. You go to the right, you go to heaven, Fowler's Harbor. You go to the left, you go to Splash Mountain, not exactly heaven. But this is a very important one to come back because this shows that the flow of traffic is way more manageable, and it adds in some sort of different dietary options that you couldn't get. Not like vegan or vegetarian, but like, lobster, if that's your thing. If you're lobsteritarian, this is your joint. Coming up soon, the lobster bread bow dum dum, where I take 2 lobsters and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go to Ghirardelli, but maybe Gibson Girl, who knows? Also, we're going to get the Hungry Bear back. Now, the Hungry Bear is crucial for Disneyland because the patio is huge. I mean, huge. You have the upstairs with all the views. You have the downstairs where you can get away from the shade and take a little potty break if you need to. This Hungry Bear is going to be just a massive, massive return. It also brings in a sort of a value type place to eat. Most items here almost sound like we were going to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge for a moment. But Hungry Bear not only offers delicious cold brew and some treats, but an affordable like chicken sandwich or a fish sandwich or a burger. Definitely hits sort of a consumable grab and go type location with a patio that's just phenomenal, where you can get all the good vibes that you need. You can see the Disneyland Railroad cruising by. So much good stuff. All right. Sorry, I got lost in the chat there. I was trying to figure out what people were talking about a minute before I was talking about it. So Hungry Bear being back is huge. Disneyland Today says Hungry Bear never had the greatest food. I'll agree. It's grab and go, but it is affordable. If you're trying to feed a family of 6, that I'm not. I'm a family of 1. But it does add a lot of different value, a lot of different food at an affordable price. Also, good shadow spot, shade spot to kind of, recharge your batteries on a long day. So there you go. The patio is amazing for shade. Absolutely amazing for shade. Gina, the Best Life and Beyond podcast is coming out Wednesday, and it is an amazing 2-hour conversation that I think will give people so much insight into Katie and Spencer and how they run their channel. But staying on topic, why are you not working, slides? Staying on topic, over in DCA, we're going to get the Lucky Fortune Cookery back. Is that the name of it? That's going to come back. I was like, I don't need the names. I know the names of all these places. Have to say, don't know if I've ever eaten at this establishment before. Pacific Wharf restaurants, I kind of normally cross those off my list because that area can just be kind of so crazy. Chilling at the Hungry Bear is such a great spot. So this is coming back, which will sort of complete all of the restaurants in the Pacific Wharf, as well as the Corn Dog Castle will return. Now, these corn dogs, this menu actually, was being served over at Award Wieners. Still the funniest restaurant name at the resort. But back during free DCA, they were taking this popular menu, exported it over to Award Wieners, giving people, these favorites, a Disneyland corn dog, but also making it easier for Disney to do a faster menu during the days of free DCA. Now, free DCA is a beyond bizarre chapter in Yesterland. I was so happy to be there weekly and to document it. Those will always be very precious and emotional days. It was also the last days of everybody feeling like they had an annual pass where just anybody could come and go whenever they wanted to. Nonetheless, though, the Corn Dog Castle's food has returned to its stand. And it's just one of those things where if you track, corn dogs were at a different location for a whole different reason. Now they're back in their spot. It just is one of those sort of benchmarks of slowly working our way back to a park that feels normal. Corn Dog Castle will be open Friday the 1st. Daphne Lee, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, bud. Corn Dog Castle is open. Corn Dog Castle will be open. You may not know this, but I was once knighted at the Corn Dog Castle. Sounds fancier than what you might imagine, but the king said, Brickey, I've noticed that you are a true champion of saturated fats and floaty foods. And I said, yes, king, I've done it all for you. And so the king came over to me and knighted me, which you may not want to be knighted, because what they do is they take a corn dog and they dip it in yellow mustard and they do it on one shoulder and then they do it over the other shoulder. The knighting ceremony, but it's done with a giant corn dog. And I had mustard all over my shoulders and I was like, oh, get ready to wipe it off. He goes, no. You don't wipe that off. If you see anybody at Disneyland with mustard on both of their shoulders dripping down, that is a sign of Disneyland royalty. Yeah, your boy. Sir, Brickey Mouse to you. Beth was so proud. That was one of the times that Beth just has divorce papers that are mid temperature, and sometimes they get real hot. And I see her over there with the envelope, licking the envelope, getting ready to. No, Beth. Now that I'm knighted, no more corn dogs. Then she puts the divorce papers back up. Let's keep moving on here. And then finally, Smoothies is back. Guess who's back? Smoothie's back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Smoothie's back. Schmoozies is back. Good old Schmoozies returns. Everyone loves Schmoozies. I don't know if that part's true, but I do know that sometimes Schmoozies has limited edition desserts in there. Does anybody remember pre-Avengers Campus? Does anybody remember the Gamma Ray donut? The big, giant, green and purple donut? I mean, the donut was literally, this is as big as my head. If you've ever been to Randy's, it's like the Texas-sized glaze. It was like that big, but it was dipped in a green chocolate for Hulk and then purple chocolate for purple corduroys. And what a look, right? What a look. If I knew that when I lost my temper, I would turn green, purple corduroys would probably not be the slacks that I choose to wear. AS says, ever tried a Choco Smash with a hot fudge? Yeah, hot fudge to wash down a Choco Smash. That's the Choco Challenge. Got to take that one up. Sorry, I got the chat in a different spot. It's not working. I got to actually turn my head to look at your comments. So we'll put the chat back where it belongs next time. But Brickey, you can pop it out. My screens are maxed, brother. My screens are maxed. All right. So that's the big announcements we're going to have on the 1st. Schmoozies is back at DCA. Corn Dog Castle is back. Lucky Fortune Cookery is back. Hungry Bear in Disneyland, which I think is huge news. And we also get the Harbor Galley back. I think all 5 of those are a good indication of some normalcy. But that's not the only thing that is back this week, because we also have single rider lines that are back in the parks. So over in Disneyland, if you're a single rider, what's up? Let's hook up. If you're a single rider, you can get onto Space Mountain. You can get over on Indiana Jones Adventure, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, which is like, if I was a single rider on Smuggler's Run, I'd just be like, hey, sorry. I know you guys all wanted to ride the Falcon together, and now you're stuck with me. Whoops. That's the only one that feels like a little invasive, right? Like on anything else, you're just taking a seat. But in Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, you're literally a cock block, like a cockpit block, right? Like you're inside there like, hey, what's up? I'm just in your cockpit hanging out with you guys. My bad. And then also Star Tours as well as Splash Mountain. All of those are appropriate. Single rider Millennium Falcon is just a little odd, unless you and your friend are both single riders and you get put with a group of 4, and then you do like the, you already know you're an engineer, right? You just like, I guess you guys can ride with us, but you have to be engineers because we're the ones that stood in line for 45 minutes. And me and my husband, we're pilots, and our kids, they're gunners. You guys can be engineers if you have to ride with us. Said Star Wars lady. I was going to say the K word, but there's a K word here, and she's a really, really great citizen of Disneyland, so I was going to just disparage her of that. So, yeah, whatever. Any news about World of Color? No, we do not know anything about Magic Happens. We don't know anything about Fantasmic, World of Color. We don't know anything about the big shows coming back, but what we do know is that July 2nd, we get Precious Matterhorn back. Now, if you're like, but Brickey, I booked my reservation for July 1st. I bet there's going to be soft openings. In fact, I'm debating on going on the 1st for the Matterhorn because I think I can scoop it from everybody there on the 2nd. We'll see. I got wild with reservations, so we'll see. The Matterhorn will be back, and the Matterhorn being back is a huge, huge win because, one, it's an attraction that is original only to Disneyland. It's the first ever Disneyland Mountain. All the other attractions that have been put inside of a mountain were framed after this one. First tubular steel roller coaster. But what Matterhorn really is it's just that welcome to the hub, or when you're in Fantasyland or when you're in Sorrowland, that you just hear those people going by and having fun. Like Matterhorn to me is just like that echo of good times through the central part of the park. And Matterhorn is like the best views when you go past those little Matterhorn holes. Woo! Love them so much. West Coast Avenger says, no comment or question, just need to stop being a cheapskate and contribute to the channel. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I am grinding hard with the channel, and I appreciate all the super chatters. Appreciate it so much. So thank you, West Coast Avenger. I appreciate it. Ryan? Your name is Ryan, right? I think your name is Ryan. Katie Baker says, engineer's my favorite. Well, hey, man. No shots fired. Get what I did there? Bree says, what about the time restrictions, meaning the 1 p.m. park hopper? That's going to be around, the park hopping is going to be around for, I think, the restriction on that's going to be around for quite a long time. I'm not going to say forever, but I think reservations are here forever. I think the reservation gives them an unbelievable way to manage their attendance and to manage, their staffing. I think the reservation never goes away. I would be shocked. Like if I owned Disneyland, I would never let the reservations go. No sirree, Bob. And now that people are used to it or getting accustomed to it, there's no way I would ever let that go because it is such a great way to control what's happening. And I'm currently, hey man, I got my phone open right now and I'm currently like just hitting refresh like crazy. Come on. No, it's not that kind of, I got ready to touch this like it would focus that camera. But I got my reservations open right now. I'm currently trying to get a reservation for Beth for 4th of July in Disneyland. So I've been hitting the reservation like lotto like crazy the last couple of days because she's like, this is how Beth is. She's like, maybe go on 4th of July. And I'm like, what? You would go with me on 4th of July? Now I'm already set. I'm already in the system. But I got her a California Adventure reservation, but I'm trying to get her one for Disneyland. So I've been hitting the reservations, refresh like crazy, like a madman, like every hour, a couple times an hour. And it's wild to see the dates change, like really wild, like kind of addicted watching the dates change. Disneyland Today, you are not in a good mood, brother. I'm going to challenge Disneyland Today to say one comment that is completely positive. Because the last one I just looked up, at Nope, personally think Mickey's Mixed Magic was the worst fireworks they could have chosen. The show before was much better. Look, man. Is Mickey Mixed Magic the best fireworks show? No! Far from it. So, like, your comment's not bad. Because you're accurate. It's not the best show. But it's a fireworks show, brother. We got a fireworks show back. So you build, and you know that Mickey's Mixed Magic's back because it's the easiest one. Like, that's the one for them to, like, get it all figured out. Then we'll get something more complicated. So, you know, come on, man. Be happy with me. Think about where we were last 4th of July. Sad, home, alone. I don't care if it was just them beatboxing over the PA. America, Disneyland, happy 4th of July. That would get me stoked. Hey, IFE3, thanks for the $10. This song is my jam. I use this song in the Trampion video, and it always makes me like almost cry. Nope and Nope says they could do no projection mapping, play non-Disney music, and pop a couple of bottle rockets and we'd be happy. That's the attitude, Nope. You're so right. They could be like, hey, what's up? It's 4th of July. Yeah! Fireworks at Disneyland, fireworks at Disneyland. Oh, all right, you missed, okay, positive Matterhorn comment. One love, brother, one love. I'm in a good mood today. Also, this weekend, Trader Sam's is back. So, hey, you don't need a ticket. You don't need to be in the parks. You just need a lot of patience because these spots go fast. But Trader Sam's back open, and I know this is the vibes that so many locals love. I love this place. I mean, I love this place. But I always find it to be such a kind of a hassle to get in there because it is so small. But I love it. And for those of you that have the patience to do it, I'm all on board. Brian says, going to be there for my wife's birthday on July 4th for the return of nighttime entertainment. I can't wait. Brian, I hope you and your wife have a beautiful birthday celebration. Karen, any fireworks, works. Love that. West Coast Avenger says, I just wish Matterhorn didn't destroy my back. Or is adjusting your back, right? Which way are we going to look at it? Trader Sam's with my buds, Veronica. That sounds like an amazing night. Also on July 2nd, we have back the Tangeray the Tangier Terrace, which is kind of combo with this is where you can actually order food. Sam's is more about beverages. If you get to eat inside, I don't know if you've ever been there before, but they have like interactive drinks where if somebody orders something, a hurricane happens or there's a rainstorm, and then this is the place that's adjacent where you can actually get food. But both of these spots really book up super quick. Normally a long wait time, so it's kind of a patience type of thing. Dan says, can you get to Sam's easily if parking at the structure, you have to walk the tram path? Oh, Dan, I hate to tell you this, brother, but you would have to actually, that's a really great point, Dan. Thanks for bringing that up. You would have to walk the Mickey and Friends path up to World of Disney, then hook a U-turn, then go back up through downtown Disney and then work your way over to the hotel area. Unless you park in the symbol lot, and then that would get you into downtown Disney area. And that's probably where you want to park anyways, because I think you'll get like a stamp or whatever, like that would validate you in that moment. And then you would be where you need to be. This is a very internet sounding song, or YouTube sounding song in the background. Whenever there's this guy singing, go to Disneyland, baby. Go to Disneyland. Just views start crushing. Now, July 4th, fireworks are back, and they start on the July 4th, but then they stay. Park staying open till 10, get an extra hour of magic in the evening. And what this is going to mean is two things. Some people that show up late, or hold on, let me get this back. Some people that show up early won't make it till the end. So you'll get people that show up in the end or in the beginning. What's the matter with me? People will show up in the beginning and they won't make it till the end because they just get tired and they get fatigued. And it used to be everybody showed up at 9 and everyone's like, I'm staying till 7. I am not leaving early. But now you're going to get people, I call them quitters, you call them parents, that will leave halfway through the day. And so you'll see, the park kind of change halfway through. But then you'll also get people that are dead set on staying till the end because there are fireworks. So it's a little bit of a wash. You'll get, kind of a bit of a mix around the park. Not everybody can go from, 13 hours and make it the whole way. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Disneyland today, $2 super chat. I'm unemployed, but you're my live jam today win. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that so much. And I also appreciate you being a good sport because I was poking you a little bit. The boom booms. So definitely will be interesting to see how the 4th of July and fireworks on the 5th, the 6th, how it changes the way the parks have been operating, how the parks have been running. But I have to tell you, the attendance lately has been really great. Getting everybody inside the buildings has been really great. So it's been a really good time at the park. And if they would keep it the way that it is and not flood it with tons of more people, it opens up a debate on annual passes. I'll just put it there. Gina Miller says during the fireworks is a great time to crush rides. Oh, 100%. 100%, because while everybody's lined up for fireworks, guess what's open? The lines for the attractions. And to Gina's point, after the fireworks, the mass exodus is the time where you just crush. You want to get in some place where there's lots of rides close by, so you can just go from attraction to attraction to attraction, just crush them. But yeah, Gina, great point. Jeff says, going next week. Are you going to be there, Brickey? I'll be there next week. I go weekly. West Coast Avenger says, staying open to close because we need to maximize the value of $200 park hoppers. I get that. But some people just can't make it that long. Oh, I've had too much fun. I gotta go home. I'm so tired. My feet hurt so much on me. Dan? Kick Dan out. Kick Dan out. If you're going to show up here, Dan, and you're going to talk about Launch Bay in front of me, you know that's my sore spot. You know Launch Bay is my favorite attraction. You know that I go in there for hours sometimes and go, oh my God, here's a model. Here's an eighth of a land that I could go visit. Or, sometimes I go in there and go, oh my gosh, here's a chessboard and 3 vases in the wall that looks like a restaurant I could go to on the other side of the park. And then sometimes I have to sit there for hours and watch that video telling me about how Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be and how the movies that are already out, how those are going to be. Kick that out. Anybody who mentions Launch Bay around me, that's why I became obsessed with Disneyland for Launch Bay. It's too soon, Dan. Too soon. Actually, Launch Bay won't be around for a while because they use that area for cast member breaks and training. Because they're like, you know what, cast members? It's been a rough year. We want to give you the best. We want to give you Launch Bay. And when you guys see me say that I'm from LB, I'm not talking about Long Beach. I'm talking about Launch Bay. LBC, Launch Bay Club. So, not exactly this week, but July 8th, we also see the refreshment corner come back, which shout out to the red and white light bulb. That's going to be awesome to get that back. Get those. Oswaldo, you know what's up. LBC in the house. Lunch Bay Club. Lunch Bay crew. But refreshment corner being back means chili dogs. Chili dogs are back. Chili dogs are back. Chili dogs are back. And also over in DCA, finally, Clarabelle's is back to scooping. So if your dream was, you know what? I'm going to wear a mask. I'm going to stay home. I'm not going to go see my grandparents. I'm going to spend Christmas with the kids, not go anywhere. No vacations, no staycations. Just going to do nothing with my whole life because all I want to do is get back to eating ice cream and Mickey Mouse's shorts. Look at you. You're back. You're back. Congratulations. You did it. July 8th, you can fill up Mickey's shorts with 1, 2, 3 scoops. A little hot fudge if you're nasty. Clean out those trunks. So, what's left, you say? But Brickey, what's left? What more could there possibly be? Well, here's the things that aren't open and we don't know when they're going to come back. Toontown is still, well, it's Toontown. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Chippendale's Treehouse, Donald Duck's Boat, Mickey and Minnie's houses, those aren't back yet. Also, on Main Street, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln and the Disney Gallery. Those aren't fully open yet because they use that area for training for cast members and they're doing a lot of hiring. Dan says, why are reservations so hard to get right now? It's just because everybody wants to go. It's summer. The kids are out of school and everybody waited till the last moment. So I just refreshed. Nothing left in June. The earliest you can get in July right now is DCA on the 9th, but this changes. You hit refresh, it changes. But it's not hard to go in August. Right now, every single date in August is open. So people go, oh, why is it so hard to get in? Well, because people want to go and people are booking their trips. So if you want to go any day in August, September, or October, the world's your oyster. Any of those days are open right now.
Pretty, pretty.
Are we trying to get to 100 likes? No. I could never do that. Oh, dining reservations. Dining reservations are like the impossible part, right? The dining reservations are like the thing that I don't understand how they go so insanely fast. Yeah, Oga's is a hard one to get. I got it in there early a couple of times, but I was just waiting, right? And does anybody in the chat know when the new dates? Because I know that it's a rolling calendar. So like, can you, if you know you're going to be going to the park in 2 months, do you get up at 6 a.m. and that's when the reservations open up? Michelle says, if they don't bring back annual passes, what will be the next passes to come back? I'm not sure I understand your question there, Michelle or Michael. Sorry, my reading comprehension doesn't let me understand that word. Can't find any Oga's or Blue Bayou next 60 days. Well, I think the restaurants are stuck within 60 days. But they fill up right away. So essentially when a day comes out, they fill up right away, like immediately. So you need to figure out what time reservations open up and then get it that day. Yeah, Katie Baker says, even pre-2020, we booked our reservations 60 days ahead. My calendar was always filled with reservations for 2 months. Yeah, that's the way you got to do it. You just got to plan ahead. Lauren says, I heard 7 a.m., but I think it's inconsistent. That's what I heard too. Oh, you need that coffee drink, that cold brew drink. Well, the coffee drink, the cold brew drink, that's at Docking Bay 7, and you can just get that whenever you want it. But the Christmas in a cup, that one is exclusive to Oga's Cantina. All right, let's move on. So what's left? The things that are still not coming, we have no date on Finding Nemo's Voyage. I don't know that anybody is excited to do that one. That's a really, really, really tight space to be in there. And I don't know that anybody is really looking to jump on board with doing that one again. And so then we also know that the Jungle Cruise will be back on July 16th, which is the day before Disney turns 66. A lot of people have been asking what's going to happen on the anniversary. Probably not much. They don't tend to really go off unless they're doing an 18-month celebration, which, speaking of, your boy will be out at Walt Disney World. That's me. I'm your boy. I'll be at Walt Disney World the last week of September. And my final day at the parks will be Friday, October 1st. I will be there to give you live coverage of Walt Disney World Resort, turning 50 years young. And I will be spending that day bouncing everywhere around, giving you as much coverage as possible. But the 4 days ahead of time, you can see me also doing live streams from Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, my first ever visit to Epcot Center, as well as my return to Magic Kingdom. Fun fact, last time I was at Magic Kingdom, the castle was covered in candy. It's been 25 years since I've been there. And I know what you're thinking, but Brickey, you're only 28. Yes, I was 3. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring that bell when you do, because every time I'm at a Disney resort, Disney park, I always go live, creating a window to take you into the magic. Also, when is the monorail going to come back? When the monorail does come back, be prepared that you might have to wear a mask on it, because currently, if you park in the Toy Story parking lot and you take a bus over to the park, you are required to mask up. Same thing out in Walt Disney World. On public transportation, they're still requiring a facial mask just because of the closed up proximity, which if we go back to Finding Nemo's Submarine Voyage, they're probably saying if we did it, we'd have to make people mask up on one attraction. That might be a hard and awkward thing to reinforce. Who really wants to do the submarine right now? It's probably what they're also saying. So yeah. And also Pixie Hollow, currently not doing the meet and greet, but it seems like none of the meet and greets are really going right now. We started off with the ones over in Toontown, and then Sailing Ship Columbia. I think that boat is probably getting a little bit of maintenance, getting ready for the return of Fantasmic, but it would be nice to see it come back once it's ready for Fantasmic. And then finally, Disneyland Trams. When are we getting the Disneyland Trams back? Because that walk is long. And hey, man, where am I staying when I'm out there, Edward? I'm staying at... Wait a minute. I'm not telling you, Edward. You're the guy that said, Brickey, you're so wrong with your news. If I ever see you at a Disneyland hotel, I'm going to cut off your face. I'm on to you. You're trying to cut off my face, Edward. I remember that comment. Disneyland Today says trams would be nice to have back, but they were 23 years old on a 20-year lifespan. They may need to replace the fleet. Oh, hey, Bobby Chapstick. Shh. JD. Shh. Out of my way. Kenny P. Rocks, the poet. I'm talking to you. If you get a new fleet of trams, your boy here, the Trampion, I hold the world record for the most rides on the tram in one operational day. I was awarded this beautiful jewelry of the tram. What I'm saying to you, Kenny P. Rocks, if you get a new fleet, let me be the first rider. Let me be the first rider to christen the tram path, because nobody's shown more tram love than this guy. The Daily Woo says, hey, Adam, what's up, bud? Can't you park at Anaheim Hotel for $20 and walk in Harbor? Yes, you can do that, Adam, but that little secret has really gotten out. And for a while, the parking over at the Anaheim Hotel has been going crazy fast, because that is actually a parking lot that Disney doesn't own, has been the best place to park in quite a while. So parking over at the Anaheim Hotel, if you get there early and grab one of those spots, it is the best place to park. It is the fastest, easiest way on your legs to get into the resort. I keep meaning to spray paint those trams gold and make myself a plaque for being the tram king. All right, moving on. If you're a member of Club 1313, we are doing a movie night July 8th. I'm going to watch an independent film called Cars Land for the first time. It'll be fun to see that in comparison to what I've lived 1,000 times. Also, if you're a member, tomorrow you will get the Best Life and Beyond podcast a day before anyone else. And I'm here to tell you the conversation that I had with Katie and Spencer is a phenomenal conversation. If you watch a lot of Disney YouTube, but you've never really quite thought about all of the work that goes into creating a channel that is daily like theirs or semi-daily like mine, it is a really interesting conversation showing just like all of the hard work that goes into doing what they do and what they've been very successful at, as well as pay a lot of compliments to each of them, because I recognized early when I get to become friends with them and see how they do their channel, they really are a team that builds off of each other's strengths. So if you get a chance, the podcast will be available for everybody. I'll even post it here on YouTube on Wednesday, but tomorrow members get a day early. And July 13th, I will be doing a live stream only for members of Club 1313 from the park, bringing those back after doing those last year when we had so much fun during the pandemic. But I'm telling you right now, the Best Life and Beyond podcast is one not to miss. I'll go out on a limb and say this, even if you're not a fan of their channel, I think you will have a whole different understanding of who they are as people. And I think you will have a different appreciation for what they do. And after listening to the 2-hour plus interview, I think that you'll have a whole different appreciation when one of their videos pops up in your feed. It was a fantastic conversation and they were such good guests. All right, your questions. That's basically everything that we've gotten over. That's everything new that's coming. And I don't have a date for this, but speaking of new things that are coming, Adam the Woo is doing his cross-country venture and will be back in Disneyland. So one of the favorite citizens of Disneyland will be back, which means if you're a regular viewer like I am, you can wake up on the morning and see Adam ripping Disneyland, which I'm excited to see after, 500 something days since he's been in the park. That'll be a fun one to check out. Allison says, what do ads pay per play? Pennies. But if everybody watches an ad for a creator and you don't skip them, it is like you're putting change in a tip jar for creators. And if you have somebody, use Adam for example, that posts 7 days a week, that has over 1,000 videos, if each day he's getting tens and thousands of views and tens of thousands of people are consuming ads, which means tens of thousands of people are putting a couple of bucks, or no, not a couple of bucks, a couple of coins in a tip jar, it all adds up and creates revenue where someone like Adam or Best Life and Beyond can do this full time. As you'll hear in this Wednesday's interview, creating a YouTube channel is way more than just going to a Disney theme park and doing this. Yeah, man, I'm having so much fun. Woo! The filming it is the easy part. It's all the stuff that you guys don't see that is the difficult part. So if you do enjoy a creator and you can join their Patreon or their Club 1313, that helps keep that good content going. But if that's outside of your means, the thing that you can do for free is just be patient and not skip ads. Watching an ad the whole way through is the best favor you can do for a creator that you can't support any other way. Disneyland Today says, I've seen a $500 super chat dropped in Best Life and Beyond. They are amazing couple. Hey man, there are people that watch these channels that really enjoy the content that me and my peers do. And there are really amazing people out there that want to keep this content going. I know not everybody has $500 to drop on their favorite creator, but it seems that the people that do really sort of spread the love around. And it's even more endearing to me for people that are covering Disneyland or Disney as their topic, because it just really goes to show that there is a community inside of these parks. Let's see. Next question here. Herbert says, I like that name, Herbert. I like that name. What are your thoughts on Disneyland doing demolition work during the day? Was shocked to see Toontown building ripped apart during park hours. Herbert, I was really, really shocked to see them ripping down Toontown. I mean, Toontown too, right? Like the area of the park that is dedicated to the youngest citizens of Disneyland. I thought that was a really, really poor look on Disney's part, but positive spin. And, I don't think that they're a perfect company. I will always criticize them when it's needed to be, but positive spin on that is we don't know right now what the availability of the construction crews are or the timeline that they're on. I would say that if a pandemic had never happened and the park wasn't closed for 440 days, I'd be like, what is the matter with those people? But that's just one of those things where you see that happen and go, well, we've hit a new level of normalcy. Now, that being said, if they were to do demolition, 3 years from now, I would be way, way more critical. But after the park has only been open for a couple of months after a global pandemic, I'll give them a pass, but definitely a wild look, right? Brandon True says, this is one of the tightest knit communities I've found on YouTube. It's amazing. Yeah, man, the Disney content and the people that do it. And, I'm trying to do something with my channel where I know you watch all the other channels, and I'm actively trying to document all the other channels as a podcaster, and a podcaster is what pays my bills. I've done over 1,400 episodes, and I've interviewed hundreds of creatives, like from, graffiti artists to musicians to network executives to business leaders. I have done just insane interviews. And I'm really trying to get interviews down with all the big Disney content creators. And my goal would be, is after I've interviewed all these different people, I've done an interview where I've told their story, to have them back on the podcast just to talk about this space from a creator's perspective, and also to allow their audiences to sort of get to see who these people are when they're not doing their job. And I feel like when you get to meet people, their channels become so much more important to you. Getting to know Peter and Kitra has made me have so much more appreciation for Ordinary Adventures. Getting to know Spencer and Katie has made me become such a big fan of Best Life and Beyond. When I got to interview Justin Scard and ask him about how he makes his videos, like Justin Scard in this space, he might be the best filmmaker in this space. Getting to talk to Mr. Cheesy Pop about his balance of vocal work and living in Hollywood and his gamble and all this stuff. Like, I really, really love having conversations with creators. So Best Life is the first one that I've done kind of out of the pandemic, and hopefully it won't be the last, and hopefully it won't be the last time you hear him on the podcast. Oswald's like, there are other channels? Yeah, there are other channels. And it always bums me out when you can see some creators pretend like there aren't other ones. Trust me, if you upload Disney content, YouTube makes sure that you know all the other Disney content providers. So anybody who acting like, oh, I didn't know there was anybody else, they're displaying poor sportsmanship. Oh, dude, Peter and Kitra are two of the nicest people that you'll ever meet, and their work ethic is so amazing, like actually there's somebody who has said that they would be willing to come on the podcast and do an interview. And I mean, the fact that they've hit it so hard in a short amount of time and have really started to travel to all these other destinations, like they're putting in the work, man. They are putting in the work. Dylan from Theme Park Obsession, I met him first time ever on Avengers Campus opening day, and it was just like, I'm riding Spider-Man with a bud. Like, he is one of the nicest guys, and I hope to have him on as possible. Adam's my favorite Disney creator, if you put him in that space. I mean, I like his channel for a lot of other reasons. Adam and I are exactly the same age. He started doing YouTube right when I started doing my podcast. So it's been interesting to see somebody, you know, on a very, very similar journey to mine. But that's why we need to get more diversity inside of content creators, and why I want to make sure that I hire, I ain't hiring anybody. I want to make sure that I interview all the people, you know, and why I really wanted to start with the couples, because with talking to Katie and hopefully soon talking to Kitcher in an interview, I want to break down for people how hard it has been for women in this space, how they are treated incredibly different than men on YouTube in the comment section, because I do believe that Disney YouTube coverage should be a spectrum of people, just like what we see when we walk up and down Main Street. And, you know, I know this because my favorite creator in this space is Adam the Woo, because he's most representative of who I am. And that was something I learned through podcasting, is that, you know, people want to see someone that looks like them do it so that they know that they're capable of doing it. I didn't understand that when I first started out on this journey, because all my heroes had always looked like me. And I understand that for some people, they can't find a hero or somebody to admire that looks like them. And that's incredibly important. And that was a lesson that I had to learn, as I've had to learn a lot of lessons in my life. But Serena, who I can never say her name right in one take, says, but you are my favorite. And that I appreciate you always being a supporter. Mondo for Five Fires doesn't have the highest opinion of me, so that one I won't gush on. But yes, he is a hard worker, and I will give him that. All right, any other questions before we part ways today? Disneyland Today says, I partner with Happy Place Explorers. Joe and Michelle are absolutely amazing Disney couple. I don't know who that is. I'm going to write that down right now. Happy Place Explorers. I will be checking that out when I get back to the YouTube later on this evening. All right, friends, do we have any other questions? We seem to end up talking a lot about social media and content. Any fans of Jordan the Lion? Never heard of Jordan the Lion. See, there's so many people out there. So many people I need to talk to. Disneyland Fan 2005. Question. What are the changes to Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters? I think that they just needed to do a general upkeep on it. I think that it had fallen in disrepair from being closed for so long. But I think that it's back, and I think that it's fine. Verdondia Ramirez says, oh, I missed your live stream again. Guess what? YouTube records these, so you can go back and watch it from the beginning. Gain Life. Do I ever check out newbies? I check out whatever gets recommended to me, and if I'm searching a topic and I don't recognize the channel, I will definitely click in and give it a shot to see what people are up to. What's your favorite ride in DCA and Disneyland? Oh, I hate this question. Oh, my favorite ride in DCA is Radiator Racers. I think it's a perfect ride. I love it, and I still haven't seen the movie. What's my favorite ride in Disneyland? Probably the Mark Twain, just because it's like an emotional ride for me. I grew up on the banks of the Ohio River. I saw steamboats go up and down the river my entire life. Shout out to the Belle of Louisville. And the Mark Twain just means the most to me emotionally. Now, like, is it the funnest ride? Absolutely not. Like, I'm not an idiot. Like, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. But I do love it. Oh, second compliment on the Mickey sweatshirt. Thank you, bud. Oh, a couple of super chats here. Brian says, favorite post-COVID experience to date in the parks. Thanks for being awesome. I have a different level of appreciation for the character meet and greets. I think that the way the character meet and greets now, Brian, are fantastic. Putting the characters up high away from everybody so you can walk by and enjoy them It's just such a fantastic way to get to see the characters. I never was a big character person, but it has definitely made me love that experience a lot more because now it's hassle-free. Like the characters used to only belong to like the psychopaths that were willing to stand in line for, my kid's gonna get to meet Tinkerbell, do or die, my kid's gonna get to meet Tinkerbell. And now everybody can just be like, oh, whoa, Tinkerbell, that's sick. So I love that. Caitlin Collins says, I think you really did something positive for YouTube community with the Pandemies. You made it more of a family and there's so much eternal support. Caitlin Collins, I'm gonna appreciate you saying that because my goal with the Pandemies was like, you know what? I don't want to be another negative creator in the space. I don't want to be somebody who has beef with the other content creators. And I thought in the true relationship to Disneyland, my channel should be opening to all citizens of Disneyland, to all channels. That being said, I am somebody who prides myself on, you can always believe when I'm telling you I love something, because I will always be honest and tell you when I hate something. And so therefore, when I tell you that I really love some creators or some creators are really nice, it is the gospel that they're nice people. Therefore, if I say somebody else is like, we haven't had the best run-ins, you can also trust that. Oh, changing Loki's costume in Avengers Campus? Phenomenal. They have to keep that. Like next month, we should see Black Widow in a white leather jumpsuit. Keep it going. Keep it going. Fredwell says, I get what you're saying on character meet and greets, but my 2-year-old got to touch Tigger, she would melt. Oh, if she got to touch Tigger, she would melt. I get that. I understand that. I mean, I would hope in a vaccinated world, it could go two ways, right? That there could be, hey, if you want to stand in line to meet Mickey and get a photo with him for 45 minutes, go for it. But I should also be able to cruise by the Main Street train station and be like, yo, it's Mickey. That's awesome. I'm not getting into who has beef with who. I'm not getting into that. It's people are doing this professionally. Obviously, sometimes people are going to ruffle other people's coattails. I'm just saying to you, Castano, that I will always be honest with you. And if I tell you I like somebody and tell you somebody's awesome at what they do, you can trust it. And if somebody's less than that, then you'll be able to figure that out too. Sorry, I wanted to know, will you be in Disneyland in September? Yeah! I'm not taking September off. You think I'm going to take September off? Get out of here. I go weekly, so I'll be there weekly in September. I'll be there weekly in October. And in fact, if the rumors are true, and the rumors are getting really, really heavy, if the rumors are true, and Oogie Boogie Halloween Bash comes back, and the rumors are getting pretty believable, I'm going to try to buy a ticket for once a week and do what I did with Touch of Disney and try to take you there once a week for a Halloween live scream. See what it did there? Anyways, friends, as I wrap up today, if you'd like to support my content, you can always become a member of club1313.com. That's like Patreon, but way more of a community. Part of being in club1313.com is we have this unbelievable Discord. So if you're somebody who always wants to talk about Disneyland, I've provided a place where you're always allowed to talk about Disneyland, and everyone is excited that you are. We're going to be having a movie night on Thursday the 8th for members only, where I will watch a movie called Cars Land for the first time. I know it's not really Cars Land, but to me it's called Cars Land. Also, members, tomorrow you'll get an early listen to the 2-hour interview with Katie and Spencer of Best Life and Beyond. I think this will give you so much more clarity on what it takes to be a working couple and also to be a couple that creates Disney content daily. And July 13th, I'm announcing it now, the 13th of the month, members live streams are back. Remember, we started doing these last summer when there was no park in virtual Disneyland. So if you're a member, I'll be doing a live stream for members only inside of Disneyland. And you know how rowdy the 13th of the month streams always got. Friends, I want to thank you so much for showing up and making me a part of your Monday, or anybody who's watching this on the replay. I appreciate all the support. I am dangerously close to 10,000 subscribers, and I want to let you know I have worked so hard for this. But during that hard work, I've never let myself take any of it for granted. This has been like living a dream. just doing this and knowing that there's 148 people watching right now. That's so awesome. And the chat is buzzing and you guys are becoming friends. Like, this has just been the best thing that a pandemic ever gave me. And I appreciate all of you for being on board. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope that you had fun. Sharpie, am I late? Yeah, you're late. It's 2:00, brother. It's called the 13th hour, not the 14th hour. Get out of here. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. I hope you had a good time. I will be live again in the parks this Thursday. And yeah, you know, videos, podcasts. I do a lot of stuff. Hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate all of you for being here today and appreciate all of you watching on the replay. Don't cry. I'm not crying. You're crying. I don't ever cry at Disneyland. You're the one who cries at Disneyland. You think I'd cry at Disneyland? Pfft, no way. Disneyland, fun fact, has never, ever made me cry. Never cried once. So you cry. I'm not crying. Excuse me.